Hello, Sally. Good morning.
Hello, teacher.
Yes, can you hear me well, Sally?
Yes, but teacher, can you wait for me a minute? Because my computer now is run out of battery, so I need to plug in.
All right, Sally. Take your time.
Okay, teacher.
All right. So, how's the weather in your place right now, Sally?
It's very sunny.
Oh, wow, that's great. Similar here in my place too. Do you have any plans for today?
No, today I just stayed at home. I am in my grandparents' house.
Ah, all right. And when are you going back home?
Maybe this afternoon. Yes, this evening.
Ah, so you'll be just visiting your grandparent for today in a short period of time. Okay, that sounds great, Sally. And it's really nice to know that you really make time for your grandparents, even though that it's a little bit far from your house. But anyway, Sally, for today, we are going to continue with the vocabularies that we learned from yesterday. So yesterday we are done with passport, oh, passport, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then we have here the next word, which is called trolley. Okay, this is called trolley because it has some wheels and it has handle where you can actually push or pull it. Yes. So this one is what we call luggage trolley. So it's depend if you can actually call it trolley or luggage trolley to be very specific. Okay. Like, but you know what? Not all the time that this is the only trolley that we can call luggage trolley, because even with our small luggages, the one that we travel with and we would check in at the airport, we can also call it trolley as long as it has some wheels and it has handles that we can push or pull. Okay, then in here we have window seat. So I know that you're very familiar with window seat. So why do you think, Sally, that most of the people prefer to get the window seat?
Because sitting in the window seat, we can see through the window, we can see the view of the whole city.
That's right. Okay, especially if you are a
Không nghe
first
tư vấn mà.
timer to be in a plane, and you're very fortunate enough to get a window seat without actually paying for the extra cost, just so that you can get a window seat. Because you know what, if all the window seats are already occupied, there is actually a way in some airlines that you can change seats, but you have to pay for the cost of the window seat. Yeah, same thing. If you also want to be in an aisle seat so that it's going to be easy for you whenever you want to use the restroom, then you can also change it. But for some people who are very clever and who don't want to pay for the cost of getting a window seat or even an aisle seat, they would just show up at the day of their flight. Then, if ever that what did yeah, because it happened to me one time. I got the middle seat. Like, this is an aisle seat and this is the window seat. So my seat is the in the middle. Yeah, so I was here. Then there was this young woman who's a little older than me, like I think for 2 or 3 years, she approached me during the flight and told me, "Do you want to change seat with my dad so that me and my dad can sit together? Don't worry because my dad got a window seat." Yes. So like sure, it's not a problem. So by just saying that one with so much courage, then that woman and me didn't have to pay for the cost of getting a window seat or any seating arrangement like that. So you just have to negotiate with the people who who is assigned in that seat. How about you, Sally? Like, um, in the plane, there are so many kinds of seat, just like window seat, you're very close to the window. Aisle seat, like that, you're very close to the aisle, so that it's gonna be easy for you whenever you use the restroom. And if you wanna, if you want to talk to the flight attendant because you need something from her, then we also have the middle seat between the aisle and the window seat. Then there's also another one who has larger space when it comes to your leg, because some people like it when they have an extra space so that they can so that they can easily bend over their knees or leg. Yeah, so you can actually get the seat. It's just that you have an extra responsibility by just flying in an airplane. So your extra responsibility is just if in case that worst comes to worst, the airplane will have an accident during that flight, then you are responsible to open the emergency window. So that seat is what we call emergency seat. Yeah, so you will also assist the flight attendants, the pilots, to give the passengers their safety, what do we call the one? Safety things. Yeah, just like their
Yes.
parachute, their mask, like that, or even their, what else? Like, yeah, I think just the parachute itself, like that. So, or even their, what do we call the one? Something that we can actually float when we land in the water. If you don't know how to swim, you just float. So it's like a life jacket. Yes. So you will assist all the passengers. If only you're willing to do that. Yes, then
Yes.
um you are deserving to get that seat that has an extra space for your legs like that. Okay. But don't worry if you're like, yes, I'm willing. It's just that I don't know. Then the flight attendant before the flight um will take off, then she will brief you or she will give you an orientation. Okay, so this is what you're gonna do. She will even hand you the handout about how to properly install it just in case there's an emergency during the flight, like that. Okay, so how about you, Sally? If you were the passenger, what seat do you usually get?
I will get window seat because I like to see the view through the window. Like we can
Yeah.
see the whole city from above and also can see the clouds flying in the sky.
Yes, that's right. All right. So I agree with you. Okay, and we also have here check-in desk
Desk
attendant.
attendant.
Okay, so when we say check-in desk attendant. Hmm. Okay, I'm not really sure what's the job of check-in desk attendant. Probably their job is to help you check you in with your flight, because sometimes most of the airlines, I like me in my experience traveling domestically and internationally, like most of the time, the airlines don't let you check in, I think, um 24 hours beyond your before your flight. Let's say that you book a flight for later at 3 p.m. So
Yes.
you cannot check in like I think 30 minutes before, I know, not 30 minutes. You cannot check in a day before you fly. So, okay, it's very important to check in, Sally, so that they will know that you will surely fly with the one that you've booked. And they can also give you a boarding pass. So, what will happen if you never check in? So, that means they would assume that you're not gonna fly with them and you won't get a refund because you
Oh,
probably forgot about your book flight. You have other things to attend to, like that. Okay, then if you say that hey, I am boarding in this flight JO14123, like that, then they will say, can I have your boarding pass? You'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry, I forgot to check in because I am so busy, blah blah blah. And they'll be like, oh, the boarding time already started. I'm sorry, but we cannot check you in anymore because there is a time for you to check in, like that. So checking in is very easy. You just have to put maybe sign a scan the QR code, put your details, and put the flight number that you book. Then you can actually print out your boarding pass, or the check-in desk attendant will check in for you. So the check-in desk attendant can be seen at the airport. So whenever that you are at the airport, there are so many airlines. Cebu Pacific, Philippine Airlines. We have what else? Like American Airlines, Hong Kong Airlines, like the Air Asia. There are so many airlines. So if ever that you book Philippine Airlines, so you will actually look for its logo. Oh, okay. So my airline is Philippine Airline, and you'll be like, oh, I really don't know how to check in. Then you have to fall in line under Philippine Airline. You just have to show your passport, and you'll be like, hi, can you please help me check in with this flight? Then they'll be like, sure, here's your boarding pass. Then you are ready to go. So that is their job. Okay, then we have here flight information screen. Oh, if you are a first time traveler, it's gonna be very confusing. It's just
yes.
a monitor, like a big monitor that you can see at the airport that will actually tell you what's the status of your flight. Yeah, you can see in your boarding pass like this one. Let me show you a boarding pass. Oh no, it's not clear. Boarding,
Mm.
this one. Okay, so the name of the airline is National Airlines. So when you are at the airport, you would look for, oh, where is the National Airlines? So you will fall in line there, wait for your turn, present your passport. Um, Whenever it's your turn, then the check-in flight attendant will check you in and give you a boarding pass after. So look at your boarding pass. It says here that the name of the passenger is James Smith. So this is actually your information. Then look at this one. This is very important. This is your flight number. Okay,
Yes.
NA4321. So it also has December 6th, that's the date, and the time of your boarding time. Okay, so here you can see these details on the screen. On the, what's this called? On the flight
The flight
information screen,
informations.
together with other airlines that will fly on the same day. So that is why it's very important to memorize or familiarize your flight and also the time, because the status of your flight will actually change many times. Sometimes it's going to be like, oh, delayed. Flight NA4321 status delayed, like that. So time, instead of 11:40, it will be delayed like 12:30, like that. Flight NA4321 already boarding. The status is already boarding. So once you can see, oh my God, it's already boarding, and you can't even find your gate or terminal. So look at this one. It says it's Terminal 2.
Terminal
So you
2.
have to look at the airport. Oh, excuse me, can you please tell me where is the Terminal 2 going to New York, JFK, like that? Then they'll be like, oh, this is your terminal. Then, when you are now at the terminal, then you still have to look for your boarding gate. Yeah, because if you are not in the right boarding gate and in the right terminal, there is a higher chance for you that you would miss your flight. That is why it's very important to arrive at the airport. If you're traveling internationally, at least arrive there 3 to 4 hours before your boarding time so that you will have more time to go through with the immigration, go through with checking in, getting your boarding pass, getting at your terminal and at the right gate. Okay. So, do you have any questions about those words, Sally?
No.
Okay. Actually, I've downloaded the audio already. So let's see.
Mm.
Let's try to listen to track one and let's see how it goes. Here it is, Ellie.
At the airport.
Hi.
Good morning. May I see your ticket and passport, please?
Certainly, here you are.
Would you
Oh,
like a
all
window?
right. So this is just for the conversation that you're going to complete. So we'll listen to that one later. Okay, so here's Ellie. There are more words aside from those vocabulary. So look at this one. If you can remember, I mentioned about terminal earlier.
Yes.
So, are you familiar with terminal?
Yes, I know that word.
Yes. So terminal is not only present at the airport. It can also be a bus terminal, a taxi terminal, like that. Okay, so
Yes.
if you can see here, a place where vehicles, passengers, or goods begin or end a journey, like that. So at the airport, there are so many terminals. Like in our airport in Manila, which is our capital city, there are, I think, three three terminals: terminal 1, terminal 2, terminal 3. So you would go to terminal 1 if you are flying internationally. You go to terminal 2 and 3 if you're flying domestically, like local flights, like that. So if you are flying an international flight, let's say I'm going to Vietnam, so that's an international flight. But I went to Terminal 2 and 3, and I only have 30 minutes before my flight. So there is a higher chance of me of missing my flight because each terminals are actually far from each other. You
Oh.
cannot just walk it. You can walk it if you have a lot of time, but if you're running out of time, you need the bus shuttle. This is the bus shuttle. It is a bus for free for passengers to transfer from one terminal to another. But this causes so much delay because there are so many airports at the there are so many passengers at the airport. So it's better to hire or book a taxi. And the taxi will
Oh.
actually transfer you from terminal 2 to terminal 1, like that. That's why it's very important to research and pay attention to the details of the boarding pass. Okay, so that's terminal. So it's like T1. So that means terminal 1. T2, Terminal 2, like that. So they don't actually put Terminal 1, Terminal 2. They would just use abbreviations on your boarding
Yes.
pass. And here we have flight time. So very easy. The time that that your flight will um take off. Yes. So when is your flight? Let's say that your flight is, where is that? Here. Look at this one. The flight time is 11:40.
So it's the departure time.
Oh, hold on. Here. Flight time is 11:40, but the boarding time is just until 11:20. So when we say boarding, this is the time. the passengers will get inside the plane. So of course it will take time because you're not the only passenger inside the plane. So it probably take like 30 to 40 minutes. It depends to how passengers are quick in boarding. Okay, then we have here 11:40. The plane, once everyone has boarded inside the plane, it will not fly immediately. It will actually move around the airport, then prepare to take off. Then this is the flight time, the departure time, like that. And also, when you say arrival time, look, there's a difference. 11:40, then 1:30. So how many duration how many duration is the flight? So it's like 1 hour, 1 hour. Oh, not really 1 hour. It's like 50 minutes. Am I correct? 50? Yeah, I think so. Like less than an hour. So this is your arrival time, like that. Then you will be the one to do the math. Oh, so how many hours do I have to stay inside the plane? Okay, so 1:30 minus 11:40. So what's that? 11:40. Oh, 1 hour and 20 minutes or 30 minutes, like that. So that is the
Yes.
flight duration. Okay, and in which terminal? That is 2. So when you already boarded at the plane, so look, you also have an assigned seat. Then you look for your assigned seat. Oh, okay. So there are so many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So it has some labels. Yeah. So if you don't want to look for it, go immediately to the flight attendant. Okay. The flight attendant will tell you, "Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Can I see your boarding pass? Here it is." Then they'll be like, "Okay, you're ready to go," like that. If they will not tell you, "Oh, this is your seat," you can actually ask, "Could you please tell me where is 9A seat?" Then they'll be like, "Here, this is the way
Yes.
to it," like that. Okay. Then we have here check-in desk.
Checking this.
So same thing with check-in flight attendant. So this is just where you can actually show that you have a flight for today, and you will actually give them your excess baggage for check-in. Like aside from your carry-on bags, you also have some extra trolleys or luggages that you want to check in so that they can put it on the plane. Okay, but it's not gonna go along with you in the cabin. Then we have here baggage allowance. Okay, I told you
Yes.
that when you fly internationally, it's usually 20 or 21 kilos. It depends on the airline's regulation. But if you're flying domestically, it's only limited to 7 kilograms. Okay, so if your carry-on bag would weigh 9 kilogram, then your excess baggage is 2
Charge.
kilogram. No, like here, only 2 kilogram.
Oh.
That means you can no longer put your carry-on bag in the cabin. You have to check this in, and they will put it in the airplane, and you have to pay for excess baggage charge. The 7 kilogram is free, no need to pay. But what about for the excess of it? Then that is why you have to pay for excess baggage charge. So let's say that the excess baggage charge per kilo, if you didn't book for it or paid for it in advance, then they would charge you, like, let's say $100, but this is very expensive price. So $100 per kilo, and you have an excess baggage allowance, which is 2 kilogram. So they will charge you immediately with $200. So that's how they do it per kilogram. So if you are traveling and you know that you have some excess baggage because you want to bring a lot of things, then at least pay in advance. Okay, like, okay, I'm gonna book like 20 kilograms, like that. That way you have a lot of allowance.
Yes.
Yes. Then Excess baggage charge. Oh, baggage allowance. That's the one. Baggage allowance is the number of kilogram that you are allowed to bring with you at the airport. Just like 20 kilos, 7 kilos, like that. That's your baggage allowance. Then if you have some excess, you have to pay for it. Okay, that's how easy it is. Then we have luggage belt or baggage conveyor belt. So what does this mean, Sally? Can you please read this?
A moving rubber belt that takes your bag from the check-in desk to the plane or from the plane to the baggage reclaim area.
Oh, thank you for reading that one. So let me show you a picture of it because I don't know how to explain it. And for you to easily understand, here it is. This one. Okay.
Oh,
So here, this is also known as luggage straps. You know what? I have this not just so that I can immediately pull my luggage whenever I travel. This is also for security. So that if some robber wants to open your luggage, they cannot open it immediately because you've wrapped it carefully with this baggage conveyor belt like that. So they will make more time in opening your luggage like that. Okay, so that's what it is. Then we have here departure lounge. Oh, there are so many places at the airport that you have to be familiar with, Sally. So when we see a lounge, this is an area that you can actually wait. Yes. So when you are at the airport, of course, be there before your boarding time. So where are you going to wait? You can you can actually sit at the departure lounge, have some coffee, read some books, browse your phone so that you won't be bored. So this is the place where passengers would wait for their boarding time. Okay. Then here we have security check-in area. You know
taking.
what, Sally? This is the most stressful moment of your life when you are at the airport. Even if you're gonna ask your mom, because when you're going to go through with the security check-in area, everyone's moving so fast. Because if you move so slow, then the security guards will actually scold you very loud. So you'll be embarrassed in front of other passengers. And they will, okay, so for example, me, I'm wearing a jacket. If I am a first time traveler and I don't know that I have to take off my jacket and I'm already in the security check-in area, there is a camera that will examine if I have some weapons along with me that I bring at the airport, like that. So they'll be like, remove your jacket. So of course, since there are many people falling in line behind you, so you'll be stressed out. You'll be like, oh, I have to do it quickly, so move it, remove it. Then they will like remove your shoes, remove all the things that you have in your watch, your earrings,
Oh,
your necklace, like that. Put it in your bag. Then aside from that, you're not going to, during when you go through with the gate with the security, you don't have to bring anything, even the coins. Yeah, I was actually scolded by the security guard when I first travel uh, alone because I put some bills and coins in my pocket and it's not allowed. So he was like, "Oh, don't bring any coins. Put it in your coin purse." Then all the things that you have, including your phone, you have to put it in the carousel. What's that? I forgot the term already. The one that we talked about yesterday, like this one, the carousel thing here, the baggage carousel. Put it there along with your other things so that, okay, the machine can actually examine it. It's like an x-ray machine that even if you don't open your suitcase, they can see what's inside of it. And you are not even allowed to bring some shampoos or lotions that are more than 500 ml. So if the machine can see, oh, there's a lotion which is 1000 ml, then you have to open your bag, take out the lotion, and leave it there at the airport. So that's how stressful it is. That is why when you fly, read all the details with that airline. Okay, so the regulations, the things that you have to bring, and the things that you don't have to bring. So yes, even if you're going to ask AI how stressful security check-in area. It is the most stressful time of your life when you travel. So everyone gets stressed about it. Okay, so Sally, since it's already time, there are actually
Yes.
more vocabularies in here that we have to learn for next week. Okay, so I will suggest that you take down notes because even me, I already know a lot all of the vocabularies in here, but I still forget the right word to call it.
Yes.
Yes, to easily remember, take down notes. Okay. So anyway, Sally, do you have any question before we end?
No.
Okay. So thank you so much for today, Sally. I hope you learned something and have a great weekend. Then see you next week. Bye, Sally.
Goodbye, teacher.
Bye.